Hey guys, welcome to a brand new episode of Harry Potter Hogwarts Mystery. Today we are doing a transfiguration test. But before I get into this, theory A for Rowan being R. I thought he was the nicest guy. I thought butter wouldn't melt, you know, he just would never trick you. Look at this. Deceit. Distracting me, then switching, cheating at wizard chess. I'm starting to agree with a lot of you guys who think Rowan is R. I don't even know who he is anymore. Oh well, let's ignore him and get into today's transfiguration preparation for the examinations, the owls that we'll be taking at the end of year 5. So what we're going to be doing is going through 17 different ones this time. So it was 22 for the last time. A lot of people did very good with potions, surprisingly better than I thought people would do. And remember, I'm keeping a little added total of people in mind, so make sure you post what your score is below in the comments section, and I will, you know, confirm what people's scores are towards the end of it, and there will be a little mystery prize for the winner. So let's get into it. First one, for everyone I'll do a little bit of a description, 5-second countdown, and then you gotta guess what it is. If you're right, you get a point. If you're wrong, shame on you. Let's do this. Right, so first of all, we have some wrists and some rope round the wrists. The great thing about transfigurations is that there's a real mix of things, so it's not just like transfiguring things into things, it is summoning certain things. So for this one, it's pretty much, do you remember what the transfiguration is called? If you haven't got it, you haven't got it. It's Incarcerus, used by Dolores Umbridge on the Centaurs. Next up, we have probably one of the more famous transfigurations, I'd say. We have a snake transfiguration. What could that be? If you don't know this one, then you need to go back and watch the films, because it is Serpent Sortier, used by Draco Malfoy against Harry Potter in their little duel in defense against the Dark Arts class. Next, we have a pretty difficult one, not much to go by. We have an arrow turning round and some wisps behind it. So I think this one is a more difficult one. You can kind of like use your head thinking, what does an action like this? This one is Reparafage. We've used it plenty of times on the scrolls that we've been finding around. So hopefully some of you have got that one. Next we have, now these are where the obvious ones are, but I suppose like what it is turning into is might be a phrase that I'm certainly not aware of before this. So we have what looks like the end of a little animal's tail. So that bit's obvious. What does it turn into? That's the hard bit. It is a box. What type of box? It is a snuff box. This is the mice into a snuff box transfiguration. Really random transfiguration. Next up, we have an apple turning into some different kind of apple. Try not to give too much away. So what is this one? This one is one we've learned in, I can't remember what year we learned it in. So it's turning into stone. It is Duro. It's quite a hard one to remember, I think. Duro. Becomes more durable. Maybe that's why it's called Duro. Right, next up we have a fairly difficult one. So we have what looks like some feathers coming off with a handle and a long piece of hair. What could it be? This one is a trickier one just because of the way this transfiguration is used. So this is not a ferret into a feather duster or a feather duster into a ferret. This is a switch transfiguration. So this is switching a ferret with a feather duster. So I'm going to be picky and say if you went it is a feather duster into a ferret or ferret into a feather duster, you're wrong. You have to have gone said it was a switch, because the transfigurations one I think is easier than potions. Next up we have what is a yellow object? It's a sponge, isn't it? It is, but do you remember what the transfiguration is? It's surrounded by pink, which should be helpful in no way. It is Spongify. Does what it says on the tin. Spongify transfiguration. Next up we have a bouquet of flowers coming from a bright light. That's the direction at which the bouquet would come from. So you probably know what this does. It's pretty obvious what this transfiguration does. But do you remember what it's called? That's going to be the hard bit. That's the bit where I think some people might not remember what it is. So this is Orchideus or Orchideus. I don't know how the orchid. Would it be that it's like an orchid? Orchideus. Orchideus. I'd say Orchideus. What do you guys think? Or do you know? I think I looked for it earlier and I couldn't find any reference to it. Next up, we have a really cool transfiguration. It's fairly obvious what this one does. So we have black hair on one side and blonde hair on the other side, and what looks like a bright green light glow in between those two hairstyles, hair colors. What do you think this one is? I think this one's obvious what it does, but do you remember what this transfiguration is called? So this was done in the class where Tonks could set out, because she doesn't need it. It is Colovaria, where you can change the color of your hairstyle. Next up we have a very popular, very famous transfiguration, I think, being that it was in the films. So as we can see, it looks like some drinking item and a tail is coming from it. So what do you guys think this is? Tail coming from something you would drink from. It is Vere Virtu, as McGonagall would say. Next up, we have half of a cauldron. So one half, the top half, is clear to see. The other half you cannot see. It's been either deleted or hidden. What is this transfiguration called? I don't think I counted that right, but it is Evanesco. Evanesco, the ability to make animate or inanimate objects invisible. If I could learn any transfiguration, it would probably be this one, because being invisible would be like seriously cool. So, boop, Evanesco. Oh my god, it worked! I'm invisible! Okay, so for the rest of this, we'll be doing it with me invisible, I guess. Oh wait, I know the transfiguration. It is Reparifage. Yes. Definitely would be the coolest transfiguration. Next up, we have the most difficult transfiguration to guess in the world. It is one part an insect, a certain type of insect, and another half a rounded object with two holes in. What could this transfiguration be? You have 5 seconds to guess. Probably the most difficult one. It is a beetle into a button. You best have got that. Next up, we have what looks like 3 feathers. Hint, hint. And some binoculars attached to a stick. And in the middle of them, they look like 3 circles, an orange circle, a black circle, and a white circle that also look like something else. Another difficult one. If you haven't been studying, that is. This is an owl into opera glasses. Everybody needs to be able to turn their pet owl into opera glasses when you go to the opera, right? There's so many transfigurations that are just totally pointless. Like, when am I ever going to need to do that? When am I ever going to need to do that? It's like, hey guys, my button fell off. Beetle. Like, I do lose buttons and I get that element, but I don't see that many beetles. And honestly, it's easier to probably go on Amazon and just be like, Amazon Prime button replacement, rather than go outside and find a beetle. I'm just saying. Is it just me that believes that some these transfigurations are completely pointless? Alright, maybe they're just practicing so you can do the bigger ones. Next up, we have something that looks like a combination between a feline creature and a giant black bowl. What could it be? Is this the summoning charm for a feline bowl? No, this is the transfiguration to turn a cat into a cauldron. This is the transfiguration Feliphores. Okay, look, we have 3 more left. We have a first aid sign and a broken dish, which has had Avada Kedavra cast on it what looks like a minimum of 2 times straight down the heart of it, and it's got the same scar as Harry Potter. This one is a very easy one. You should get it. We've used it, and we saw it being used on Harry Potter's glasses straight in the first film. It is, of course, Reparo. Next, we have I don't know how to say any of these without giving it away. We have a red creature-like thing with 4 legs, or maybe 3 legs. You may not be able to see the other leg. And it has what look like thin lollipops in it. Didn't give it away at all. This is a transfiguration of how to turn a porcupine into a pincushion. I take it back. All these transfigurations are completely useful. If they train you up, and all the useless ones probably train you up to do this one, because it is often that I have a porcupine but not a pincushion, and when I'm sewing or, you know, making dresses, like, this is what I'm looking for. I rest my case. No one. So this one is the final transfiguration, and you get the clue R, E, V, and then the rest of it. So it begins with Rev. It could be reversal, or revival, or it could be rev your engine. It could be reverend, revitalize, revel. So it could be any of those options. It's probably not though. It is, in fact, Revelio, the Transfiguration cast on Gellert Grindelwald by Newt Scamander to reveal him in the first movie. That is it. 17 in total. How many did you get out of 17? Let me know in the comment section below. I'll be keeping a total. Don't forget there will be a prize. As of yet, undecided, but it's going to be something good, unique. Okay guys, that's all for this one. Thank you very much for joining. If you've enjoyed it, please hit the like button and hit subscribe if you want to keep up to date with future content. That's all from me. See you soon. Oh my god, it worked! I'm invisible. Alright, you can still see my...